How's it going today, guys? Welcome back to the train room. Welcome to layout update number 4. Some things have transformed. Life has begun to get added to the layout, and a lot of my scenery in the inner loop is almost complete as far as the groundwork goes. Now there's still a little bit of details here and there that I'm going to be adding into, and just stuff that I pick up or as I find throughout the internet searches that I've been doing. So we'll go through some of the newer add-ons, and I have finally decided what control system I'm going to. So we'll show you that too. So starting on the corner here, I did pick up a Woodland Scenic shack and put some 3D printed bags there. I still have to paint these and detail those, and I think what I'm going to do is create a road that goes out and probably connects onto here, which in that so time. Moving on to the shipping depot, I added some dock workers there with the forklift. Those are Woodland Scenics, and then added one with a Pennsylvania Railroad truck, and added some people to the Oak Grove train depot. And the best way that I kind of found to put these down is tacky wax, and I decided that that was probably going to be my best bet. That way, if I didn't like something or I changed my mind, I could easily just pull them up and wash it off with some warm water, and then stick it back down and build a couple different scenes if I didn't like it. I did add a couple cars to the fleet and some asphalt, and then made a crossing. I'm gonna 3D print some crossing boards to put in there to give it a smoother transition, and then worked on the trailer park a little bit and just adding some effects and adding some junk into it, making it real nice, and added some trees. I still got to do a couple more trees, and I'm going to do some bushes and stuff right there. This is probably one of my becoming one of my most favorite shots. Just seeing the trailer park in the background with the train coming around on the inner loop. This is a 3D printed model that one of my friends gave me, and I was able to paint it up and weather it real nice, and have it look like an abandoned car. I'm going to put some bushes around it and have it blend in, and waste oil tank that I weathered up. And the trailer park was starting to become the main focus, just because it's going to be in the middle of the layout, and I really have been paying more attention to it right now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm quite happy with the way that it's starting to transform. And then along with adding some characters, I did some Woodland Scenics characters with a bobcat that's like shoveling coal in the back. And then I'm probably going to add a couple more coal piles along with the Woodland Scenic chain link fence. I tried to make my own, but I really wasn't happy with the scale of it. So I decided to go with the Woodland Scenic, and I'll be honest with you, for the $22 or something that it is, it really turned out good. I am going to probably fill this in with bushes to give it a nice little break, and then do something here too. I did add the Menards substation, and I'm gonna figure something out on the power poles of how many I want, or which ones I want to go with. And then I did add a couple AEP Ohio line trucks, and I just thought that was a really cool feature. and something you don't see all too often, on layouts is actually named lineman trucks. I do have a lot of big plans in store for the engine shed, but I want to finish more on the mountain back here and then finish off this before I tackle that project. And then still the plan is I'm going to do a pond right here. And then, I want to work from the back of the layout in, because I built it up against the wall and I don't have a trapdoor. So as much as I want to do up there on the mountain, I have to get up on top of the layout, move this. And kind of sometimes it is a pain, but it works out one. So coming over to the big mountain here, I did do some woodland scenics trees, to which I still have to fill in a couple areas. I did some static grass up here, and I'm gonna sprinkle some more trees here and there. I did do a camping scene, and then this is a cabin that I 3D printed, and I'm gonna wire it up for lights. And I had to come up with a way to make it to where you couldn't see through the windows, and that way when the lights hit it from the back, it would look like somebody was home, and you weren't seeing directly through it. So what these actually are is binder dividers, and I double layered it and glued it down. And I'll be honest with you, for the couple dollars it worked out pretty well. And then I moved down and put a hiker here, and I was thinking about doing maybe a dirt path down. It's one of those things that those will be the add-on final touches that I'm thinking of. The other thing that I was doing is I wasn't liking how close to the edge of the table that this was. I didn't feel that it gave me a lot of room on this side of the track to build scenery. This was built on a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and I decided that I wanted to do a little bit wider than a 4 foot. So the last 4 feet of the layout was actually a 4x5 little kick out before it went into the mountain, and I built this here. That way it would kind of allow me to do a little bit more across from this switch and the switch house. And the more I got to thinking and looking at it, I think I'm going to bump this out maybe 6 or 8 inches for the length of the table. And then that way that's going to give me a nice little bit more real estate that I can do, whether I want to do like steps going across, maybe do another platform on this side, or just do ballast and some grasslands, but at least have the crossing come across. I did pick up some MTH crossing guards that I'm going to wire up with some infrared sensors, and I still do have to find a speaker. It was missing it when I bought it. It was bought secondhand. Got a really good deal on it, so it was one of those things that it was hard not to buy, and it was really something that I was looking for. I didn't want the drop gates just because I didn't put enough space on the other side where this isn't going to be too intrusive. Which brings me to my next thing. I did add a couple engines, and if you pay attention to the shorts I've been posting, or if you follow along on the Facebook page, I did pick up a Rail King 1553 Wheeling Pittsburgh steel switcher that came with a matching Wheeling Pittsburgh steel bay window caboose. And also I picked up a Rail King Weirton steel train. So let's bring that around. this was one of my other pickups, which makes 3 Rail King engines for me so far. I really like the features that MTH offers. I like the affordability that they offer. I love their quality. I love how smooth they are, and all around, I just can't I can't beat the price that I've been finding these things for, and the opportunity that I've had to pick up a couple at different train shows and things like that. It was kind of a no-brainer for me that MTH was going to be the way that I went. After I picked up the Norfolk Southern SD70 ACE, that was really my first engine that got me hooked into the Rail King, because it offered everything that I wanted with a diesel engine. It smoked, it made noises, and then really what solidified it was when I picked up my Santa Fe F3 ABA unit with passenger car set. And there again, it was, if you paid attention to a couple videos ago when we installed the horn on my dad's Texas Special, I have a very sweet spot in my heart for F3 units, and having one that smoked was a huge plus for me, and it was really what I was trying to seek if I couldn't find a clean set of post-war New York Central ones. So it was kind of a no-brainer, and I really thought about it some, and buying the TIU was something that I was wishy-washy about. I was thinking about getting, just springing for the WTIU, but then I really wanted the handheld remote. So I picked up that stuff on a really great used deal. Everything worked out as soon as I plugged it in, and had no problem recognizing any of the engines. And so now I'm going to look into probably getting a WIU, and that way I can mess with some stuff on the tablet. There are a lot more features that are easier to access in the tablet than it is on the handheld. But be honest with you, for right now, I'm just having fun with these engines the way they are. I couldn't be happier with the recent purchases I've made. I couldn't be happier with the way the layout's progressing. It was really cold over the winter down here in my basement, as you can see, block in the back. It's not insulated. So when it was really cold outside, it was really cold down here. I tried to run a buddy heater, and it worked out, but anything that I was trying to glue down, the ballast, anything like that, it really wasn't liking the temperature, how cold it was. So I really just had to put a lot of stuff off until we got warmer weather. But that was all right, because I was able to work on getting some trees prepped, and doing a little bit more research of kind of things that I wanted to do, and anything that I could do upstairs, whether that be painting some accessories or weathering some stuff up. But I mean, all in all, the layout's progressing, and the groundwork is almost finished to where it's starting to come together with the fine detail. And really what jump started it was me doing the static grass on the train depot, adding the trees, adding the people, some hedges and things like that. And that really kick-started it for whenever I started knocking out the trailer park and seeing how that was shaping, and really sitting back and can't believe that it's starting to become whole. So thanks for coming and checking out the layout. Like I said, this is layout update 4. Hopefully we can continue this path and knocking out a couple big projects. That way we can start working on the fine detail. I have loads and loads and loads of totes underneath the layout that has little detail stuff in it that I can't wait to drop around the layout. I have some big plans for doing the power plant and adding some junk on that. really what's going to be fun is doing the engine shed. I have a lot of stuff that's going to make that realistic, and just keep junking up the trailer park. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, what's your most recent pickup at a train show? Did you go to York? I really wish that I was able to, but it just wasn't in the cards this year. My wife and I have been talking about going, and but we do have a train show coming up, here in a couple months. So I'm saving up for that, and who knows what's going to bring to the layout there. But let me know in the comments of what you think. Let me know what you found out. Let me know what you picked up. But until then, hit the subscribe button. Let's ride those rails together.